Alright, we will be starting soon. Um, so basically, what we are going to do today is first we're gonna make sure that our settings menu looks alright, because right now it doesn't. Then we are going to proceed to developing the new menu system. So we've got that nice big JEDD on it, and we'll be animating him so that he flickers like kinda Springtrap in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and so that it looks alright, right? So it'll be a bit of coding, won't be much of animating, but will be a lot of UI designing. So I think it will be nice. And we're starting in 2 minutes. So that is great. And everybody is tagging me on Discord. So alright. However, yep, I will just witam unknowna. Dobra. 1 minute and we're starting. So, yep. And we will be starting soon. Here we go. Now, so yep, like that. And here we go. Ah, fuck. Alright, so here we are in my menu scene. Here we have our beautiful JEDD, and here we have our beautiful UI. Very big, yep. Now, what I first want to do is get on. Wait, actually, yeah, I want to turn on the sound for you guys now. And also turn it down a bit, I think, so that it doesn't interrupt us too much. And yep, if it's too loud, tell me, because I need to be heard nicely. Here we have our resolution settings. They're working real nice. And that's great. And we'll be animating this dude so that he flickers. I'll show you the first sprite, 5 sprites actually, that I have for him today here, which is that, and that's the default one, and then he's gonna flicker to that, about a copyright, you know, this game, it has a copyright. Every game has copyright. actually, unless it's a fun game. But this one isn't a fun game, so it has a copyright. And yeah, you can steal it. You can't. um, so those 5 sprites will be appearing right there, flickering all around, and we are going to animate it. So let me just make a new script. So scripts, create C# script, which is going to be JEDD menu animation. Here we go. Now we're going to assign it to the JEDD game object, which is like there. And now we're going to open it in Visual Studio. And Visual Studio is going to be a dick for us. No, it isn't going to be that dick. Great. So now that we got here, first we'll need an array of sprites. So serialize field sprite array JEDD sprites, let's say. And now let's fill in this our small array. Because I serialized it, it'll show right here in the component. And here we are going to have 5 slots. And into our sprites, menu JEDD animation, back to JEDD, and here we go. So element 1 is going to be just 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, element 4, and element 5. So now that we got our sprites ready to be animated, we can change them in the script, and we can do it quite well. So I am going to do this by IEnumerators. So IEnumerator animate JEDD, let's say. And that is a special function type that lets me yield return new wait for seconds. So what this means is, let me show you. Yield return new wait for seconds. Here we got that, and we'll be waiting for it, let's say 1 second, and after that printing to the console, I've waited. Right, great. So then I'll need to start the coroutine, so like call this function using a special function called start coroutine. So start coroutine animate JEDD. Here, curly braces, semicolon, and great. Now that we got that, let me just show you that this works, so that when I open the game, after 1 second a message will appear. So this just is like wait and scratch, basically. Now, to animate JEDD, we're going to use that, and so at first I'm going to do every single point of my code in this function, this enumerator. So at first we will actually need to also access our sprite renderer. So private sprite renderer. Still no sprite renderer in there. Sprite renderer. My renderer. Great. and at start we will be assigning it to our renderer, logically enough. So my renderer dot equals get component sprite renderer. Yep. And that's it. It's what this function does. It's basically, instead of me having to manually put in that sprite renderer into a slot here, I actually make a command do that. So like it gets from this object, it looks for a sprite renderer component, and if it finds it, then it assigns it to the variable that we got here, of type sprite renderer. So now that we got that done, and we can manipulate all of its values by script. So we are going to be manipulating the sprite property right here, and what it's going to do, let's say for example, when I change it to that, you see that the JEDD will actually become the pose that he gets right here. So we will be doing that on runtime. So at first, when we start, it will have to become my renderer dot sprite will become JEDD sprites element 0. Element 0 is basically that sprite right here, the one that we've got enabled right now. And that is going to be our default sprite, right? And with that, we're going to wait for, let's say, math random. No, wait, it's actually random range in here. Random.range. And now, let's say we are going to be waiting from 5f to 10f. Or actually, from 7f to 12f. That's going to be nice. And after that, we're going to do a series of quick flickers, alright? So let's do it, maybe actually to 15. So now, my renderer sprite will equal JEDD sprites element 1. Then we'll wait a very small chunk of time. So like, let's say you'll return new wait for seconds. Let's say 0.3 of a second. So f. After that, we will be becoming my renderer.sprite. Actually, yeah, let's do this in an array. No, not array. Array? No, not array. A loop. So for int I equals 0, while so I'll need to go through that 4 times. Yep, 4 times. And so I is smaller than 4 and I plus plus. Great. So that code 4 times, and each time change it to a each time it'll change it to 1, 2, 3, 4. Or actually no, at this point it will change it to 0, 1, 4, 2, 3, which is not something that we want. So I'll change that to like this, and then I think that it's going to do what we want. And now we'll put it all into while true, which is basically an infinite loop. And great, I think that actually this makes it so that it'll work. Let's see. Pretty curious myself actually. So let's see. Will our JEDD start flickering? Alright, he has to wait a smaller chunk of time, I think. Right, he did, but he did it too slowly. So, we're going to make it like, let's say for like this, and also we'll make it not from like 7F, but from like 3 to 6F. Let's say like that, and let's test it again. So yeah, he does that, but let's make it so that he can actually stay on one of those phases and just stare at us from some different poses, you know? So I won't be doing it that way actually, but I will make a int new index equals, oh, and also yeah, I'll lower that time even more. And also I need to make more of those flickers, so it will be going like to, let's say, 13. And now our new index is going to be random.range, and that is going to be like from 0 no, from -1 actually, because minimum number is inclusive, so we need to also be able to check and to get a index of 0, you know, and max, which is inclusive. So max is going to be 4 because our last element of array is 4. And now it'll be new index. And let's see how that works. I think that it'll work very well. However, I need to change that to even less, so that we wait a bit smaller time before between the flickers. And let's see. Index was outside the bounds. So I fucked up something. So maybe it needs to be free? I think so. Probably. But we've got 4 elements, so that's weird. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Something is not quite working. So let me see if I put it on 0 and then on 4. Will that work? I think that it will, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's nice. I actually agree. Alright, he's doing some nice flickering right here. Except it looks a bit... I think that he needs to do it actually a bit... still a bit faster. What do you guys think? So like 0.35F and flickers. By the one sequence of flickers. Yeah, that feels fiddly, doesn't it? Except he always comes back to this first state, which I don't quite like. I think that it would be very nice to make him actually not come back to it, so that he can stay on the other ones. So let's put it before the while. And now, I'm pretty sure that it'll work. Let's see. And yeah, he can stay on of that effect, actually. Looks great, doesn't it? What do you guys think? Please tell me now. It's perfect. Right, I think so, alright. So, if we got that done, then let's move on to making our second menu. Which is settings canvas. So, I got that nice and done here. However, it doesn't look quite good, does it? So, I will be utilizing it a bit and making it so that it looks better than what it is right now, because that looks shitty. So first, I don't really have a plan for that actually, so I will be improvising a bit. So I think that I will make it so that it's darkening out the rest, but it's not entirely making it invisible, and I will be disabling the canvas beside it. I think that's a nice effect that I will use. So, I will need to go into my menu manager in this time. So my menu manager is a function that basically has all the functions that happen on menu. So as you can see, quite a lot. So I have this toggle custom night on, custom night off, change in send city of the characters, invite to Discord. Yep. Everybody, if you aren't here yet, go here. Because yep. Now, toggle settings off and toggle settings on. So, in toggle settings on, we will be actually wanting to also disable the... Wait, why doesn't it... It actually also disables the menu canvas right now. So maybe I need a menu No, what does it disable actually? It doesn't disable the game canvas. So I will need a next variable of, so it'll be serialized game object game canvas. Right. Now it should appear here, and it did. Great. So we will select all of our UI elements of this first scene, so like with continue, new game, custom night and settings, and assign it here, so that we have a option of disabling it. And now let's disable it. So game canvas dot set active false here. Semicolon must be outside that. So now I'll copy that line, and in toggle settings off I will need to re-enable it, so true. And now let's see what happens. So in custom night canvas, let's disable them. No, it's custom night canvas. I need to disable the settings canvas, not enable custom night canvas. Now, settings, and that looks great. I love that. However, the back button doesn't quite work, as I can see here, which is a bad thing. So let me see what happened to the back button. Toggle settings off. And why doesn't that work? I don't know. Menu canvas set active true. Game canvas set active true. Settings canvas set active false. Wait, did I disable the game manager? Or like scene menu manager? No, I didn't. So like why didn't it work? Let me see that again. I am quite curious actually, because that is something I don't know why that doesn't happen. Menu manager. Is that object enabled? Yeah, it is. So maybe if I don't know. Let me just reinstantiate it. So like let's change it to anything else for a moment and change it back to menu manager. Yep, menu manager is what we need. Menu manager dot now toggle custom toggle settings off. That's what we need, isn't it? And let's see. No, it doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Text is enabled. Button is enabled. Function is enabled. I have no idea, actually. Does it have to do something with disabling the game canvas or custom made canvas? Menu manager is alive here. I don't know. That's the part of programming, you know, not knowing what's wrong. So now, game canvas. If I re-enable the game canvas, it doesn't quite re-enable the canvas themselves, does it? So maybe that's a problem, actually. But I'm not sure. It shouldn't be. So I re-enabled everything. So I manually re-enabled everything, but... So what would happen if I didn't disable the menu canvas here? Because that's something that I don't really remember what was disabling. So let me see how that works. The button doesn't still work though. Those will do look... Oh, I know. There is a graphic raycaster somewhere that doesn't let me push the buttons. Great, alright, so... What does do that? What is over us? In here. So that has graphic raycaster. But if it didn't, let's say that it doesn't have graphic raycaster. How does that work? Do the buttons work? No, they don't. Did I disable the graphic raycaster on this? Let me see that. No. Graphic raycaster is here and it's all working. Graphic raycaster here as well. I think I'm close to making this work, but it doesn't work. So let me see if that's over the custom night canvas. Will that work well? Well, then. No. But if it's over everything, how about now? Fuck. If it's down here. So I think that this doesn't actually make it not work, but it's something else. Did JEDD change everything? I don't think that JEDD would change anything in here. So JEDD is going to be offices BG. So right now, yeah. Fuck. That stopped me a lot and I don't like it. So when we are here in like the mode of being in those settings, is there any canvas over us? Oh wait, maybe it's just that background that is recasting everything else. Recast target. How about now? It doesn't change anything. If I put it here, it goes under everything, alright? I mean on top of everything. And right here, it's under it. So, is there anything that is over it and like doesn't let it? I don't think so, because they were working before, they weren't they? So let me revert my so like let me not actually disable the game canvas and let's see if that changes anything, because that's where the issue started, like, didn't it? And it raycasts. So, oh, I know. Yeah, I know now. I know. Fuck. Yes, I just realized what I did wrong. You see, there is an event system under the game canvas. And no UI works without it. So, I was disabling it. I was disabling it, and along with that I was disabling all of my buttons. Alright, so I think that I should have a fix for that right now, which is just taking in those right here, disabling them, so like not the game canvas but the canvas. They're under the game canvas, even they don't have the event system in themselves. And now I will actually do what already was done here, hasn't it? So I'm quite curious why didn't it work before. Actually, from like very start. Let's see. I think that it should work, but I'm not sure. Yeah, great, we got it. And it backs out. So that was just my stupidity right here. But that's life of a developer, isn't it? Now, we've got those resolutions working nicely. How would I make it work nice? Let me make it a bit more influensive, so that the JEDD is like very in the background. Yep, like this. Now, actually, I will need that value in a moment, because it's going to revert Yep, that's what I thought. No, not here. This is black. Here. Here. Now, yes. 4K resolution? No. That would be a... No, the max resolution right now, I think that there is no max resolution. If you have 4K monitor, it'll display here. I'm pretty sure. But I don't have one, so I don't really have a way of checking if it works. But UI is responsive, so it'll always look the same, no matter how the resolution is big or small or whatever. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm only allowing 16 divided by 9 resolutions, which is for a big reason, because the game is in 16 divided by 9. But no. 4K resolution, if you have a monitor that supports 4K, then it'll be here. So, let's come back to style of our, not custom night, settings. So I'll temporarily, so that we can see our things clearly, disable that one. And now, here we've got the game objects. Let's make a low detail mode. How about that? Alright, that's okay. Asking is what those streams are about, isn't it? So, yep, I think that we need to make a, so that I will, resolution is what I'm going to copy, and I'm going to name it like graphics, and now graphics, and now let's go down with it, not back but down. Also, I think that my apply might actually land here, like next to 9020 divided by 1080, because yeah, why wouldn't it? So like, yep, here, and then here. That feels fiddly, I think. So now, graphics, and now let's make a system of those buttons. So I'm gonna duplicate the 9020 by 1080 and left and right, all of those, and get them down in here a bit. Yep, right there. And we'll be tweaking those in a moment. So now there will be high and low. No more settings. High and low. Or actually, high, low, and very low, I think. So that'll be that. And let me see how very low, since it's the biggest, how it's going to be aligning. And now let's adapt the buttons to that. Actually, do we need that? No, I think that it will stay like that. Yeah, gay axonics. I agree. Now, yeah, so actually we need to start putting a bit of code in here. So, this value, there is no value of it yet. So I think that I'm going to store it in Game Manager. So here is all of my data formatting and some debugging settings. but also there are all of my global variables that I want to be accessing from, that I want them to be accessible from everywhere, and I don't want them to reset at any time of the game playing. So in here, what the fuck, I will need a public variable of, how do we store that? Let's say int, int of type graphics quality, not of type but of the name graphics quality. At first it'll be 2, so 2 is going to be high, 1 is going to be medium, or like, yeah, let's make it medium and low. So now in the so that we got the value, now I will actually go into the menu manager where I'll store all of my functions for menu and make a new functions. So public void, it'll be, that function will be incrementing the value of our graphics. So add, maybe not add, increment of graphics level, not lever. Great. So now that we got this, let's put in some code. So game manager dot manager, that is my public instance of a game manager singleton. So game manager dot manager dot, now here is my value. So it was like, what was it actually? Game manager graphics quality equals plus, and that would work nicely if we weren't using a int. So I need to actually check before this value if it isn't a max at this moment of doing it, because if it is, then we need to go down to low again. So if it is equal to, if it isn't equal to, then we do what we do, so increment it. If it is, then we set it to 0, so to the very low graphics, right? Equals 0. So that is how it'll work. And now very similar public void of decrement graphics level. So I'm just going to copy all that and change it here. Decrement. Now, if graphics quality aren't equal to 0, because that's our down boundary here, then minus, else set it to 2. And now we've got that covered, so that is great. And now let me add all of my buttons in and assign the functions to them. So I will need actually not a window manager in here, but a menu manager for that function. I'm pretty sure I am on the right button. I am. So in here I will need an, it's a right or a left button? It's right button. So right has incrementing, so increment graphics level, and the left one will have also menu manager function decrement graphics level. And now we will need to add some function to the graphics Depticon like, because we will be changing the value, but we won't be actually changing how it displays right here for the player. So that is that Text Mesh Pro GUI component. And to do that, I will jump into Menu Manager again and write the next function called actually that one can be private, void update the graphics display. Now in there I will need to get a reference to my Text Mesh Pro GUI. So to do that, I will serialize field of text Mesh Pro GUI. Yep, and it will be graphic text. Yep. So now it'll appear right here asking for a reference, and it has been appearing right here. So that is going to be our graphics, doesn't it? No, it's actually that, which I need to rename. So that graphic, let's say. Very good naming, yep. And now it's going to go in here. Great. So now we got the reference to that component, and now that we got that reference, we are going to be updating it. So if game manager.graphics quality equals 0, then graphics text equals low, and we have to be comparing, not assigning. So now I will grab it all and just copy and paste it 2 times. I could have done with the switch if I think about it now, but nah, I'm good. Low, medium, and here high. And it's going to have the value of 2, actually. And now else's here. Else's. Great. Now let me see if that works. I think it should, but I'm not sure. So I have to disable the settings canvas at first and enable the canvas. Great. So that's fiddly going JEDD. That is really nice, I love it. Great, so we have very low at first. And can we change it? We cannot. Or at least we cannot see it. For some reason. Oh yeah, I didn't call the graphics display. So in here I have to call it, so update the graphics display. Alright, and now that should do that, if I am correct, and I think I am. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Alright. So now we've got a value to change it, but nothing actually changes, does it? So let's make it change something. And And actually, I think that a default value needs to be high. So back to game manager, and at first it has to be assigned to a value of 2. And that's what I did here, didn't I? Yep, it is. So it is at high at first, but it just shows it at very low. So high at first. And that's great. And now let us test it. So we are at high. We can go at medium and we can go at low. And cycling through that goes really well. And I think that this is it. So now let's go into actually nights, or like the post-processing layers of the nights. And let us disable them or enable them. So in, let's say for first what we'll do in night 1. And we'll make a new script, which is going to be check or disable on low detail. And now this is going to be a pretty simple script. We don't need update, we need just start and the curly braces of the function or for the class. And in here I will take in a serialized int disable int disable on level off. At first it's going to be initialized to 1, and now if disable on level off is going to be less, it's going to be equal or equal to game manager dot graphics quality or here is or, it's going to be smaller than graphics quality. So smaller than graphics quality, then we are going to disable the game object or even destroy it. Actually, I think that this is a good way of doing it. So disable game object, right, destroy it actually. Maybe not destroying actually. Let's disable it in case of some null reference exceptions. So game object dot set active false. Now that is really nice, and I think that it'll work. Definitely for post-processing layers. So on global post-processing, let me add that. Enable, no, not enable if custom night. Disable if disable on graphics on low detail. So this must be disabled on level of 1, and the vignette on the camera system must be disabled on very low. So camera post-processing. Now you know what, I will actually destroy game object. Hi, Pavlik. For now we did it with what we had. and we will be checking and updating it when you provide us with resources. So I'm patient. For now there is a half placeholder-ish way, but it works. And now, if we are destroying the game object, then it should work. So disable on low detail, and here it's going to be 0. Because that is going to be disabled at the very lowest level of the graphics. And now, let me go back to my first post-processing. And now we will have to do it at every night. So just add those components. So yeah, night 2, global post-processing, add component, disable on low detail. And now in main camera, camera system monitor display, disable on low detail and on 0. You know what? Before I start doing it, let me see if it actually works. So back into my menu. Yep, night 1. So now I've got the graphics of high level, and that didn't work because the I guess I got a... oh shit. Alright, we are getting some null reference exceptions. As I was... Yep, we will be checking that in a moment. For now I'm getting some really bad things going on here. So let me check my disable on again. Disable on level of... does that work now? I think it should, but I'm not sure. Yep, so I just misplaced the shit. Great. Right, so first let's get it to work in a basic way. So graphics are on the medium now. And yep, we are getting it without a post-processing, but with vignette. And now, let me see it on the lowest level. So, low. High, medium, low, low. And now it's going to throw some null references, I'm pretty sure. But we'll deal with them in a moment. And now if I try... no, that is really, really, really shitty. I'm thinking if I even should...
Boss.
No, shut up. Thinking if I even should keep it added on. No, maybe I should actually have just low and high. Because that is also, yeah, that null reference. I don't know, yeah. Yep, I'm checking, I'm disabling it. So, I will be doing it a bit different way. Because I will not have a medium graphics level, I think. I'm pretty sure at this moment. So yeah, let us change it in menu manager. But then, yep, that's what it needs to be. So no medium graphics level, just high or low. And now 1 is going to be a... so like 2 and 1 will be right now. That's all that will be here. And now all those functions don't really matter. We are going to make it just so that if it is equal to 1, then set it on 2. Else, set it on 1. And now I don't need a second function at all. Pavlik, I know that. However, resolutions are already handled, but in case somebody would still have lag, I can provide him with disabling the post-processing layers. So I think that it is a good thing to do here. I've tested it, and those post-processing do, like the HDR names color space. Anyway, graphics, so that will be just change graphics level, and it'll work the same for every object. So like change graphics level, because actually in this scenario where we have only low and high, it will, the right and the left button are actually going to work the same. So menu manager, change graphics level right here, and here also change graphics level. Now in nights we will be editing that. So disable on level of 0. And we will be deleting that on a camera post-processing, because we don't need that. That post-processing is going to stay everywhere and every time. So now, night 2, and the same thing, so here is the number of 0, and no, wait, I'm doing something not right. It has to stay on 1. Wow. Yep. And removing it from the camera post-processing. So remove component. Great. And now let's just assign it on every other night. And that works. So it assigns a good value to that at the very beginning, and that is really nice. So no new script. Disable on low detail, and the lastly custom night and global post processing. Disable on low detail. Great. So now I think that it should work. So let me come back to my menu and check it. So now I got the high graphics by default. And yep, they are here with the high shit. Great. And now let me change that. So in settings, I actually want low graphics, you know. I have very poor computer, and that'll work better for me. So yep, we've got that shitty look in here, but at least the game is running. Also, yep, we can change the resolutions, but that's going to work only in the build, not in the Unity editor. So I can't really show it to that. So I can't really show that to you guys. But yep, I'm pretty happy with what we did here. So now I'm waiting for some more sprites on our great animation of JEDD on the menu, and when I have that, I am ready to upload this patch. Right, so thanks for watching, everybody. I am really happy that you were here. It was exciting to do this kind of stream because I haven't done it any time before, was great. Thank you, and bye.